Yo, we got some important stuff to talk about today, and I'm gonna try and focus on it. But here we go. This is actually gonna be the last serious video of the day today, and then we're gonna move on to some more fun stuff with Authentic Mission. Now, we did some teamwork with one of our former sorry about that. Teamwork with one of our former partners. And I have been procrastinating on doing this video because I did not know how to say what I needed to say and why I needed to say it. But as I stated before, I watch a lot of, W5, 16:9, The Bigger Picture, 2020, Nightline, blah, blah, blah. And I get it, nowadays a lot of people don't watch TV, and I understand that. But if they really look and they really listen, they can learn a lot from it. Now, when I was growing up, the internet was just getting started in like 96, 97. We didn't get the internet until 1997 from a really cheesy company out in where I live. So, I just look at, I don't have any kids. I don't want kids. I don't want the responsibility of kids. I rather just do my work and talk about important issues through my work. I don't know why, but God gives us gifts, and I figured you might as well use them. And I have taken a long time to come to terms with who I am, and as I say in one video, more than one video, I've been attacked, my company was attacked, my former partner was attacked, for things people don't understand, former business ventures, and I closed that business, and I figured, oh well, screw it, nothing matters, but, I can't let haters win, so I just decided to refocus the company because it's not that easy to get acting work. It's not that easy to do that sort of thing. I figured I can write my own work and get acting work. It didn't go that way. So now I'm just refocusing on novel stuff and different work and YouTube videos and just talking about important issues. But I saw this thing on W5 and I kept my head in the sand for quite a while, and I thought everybody was just blowing everything out of proportion. So this would go under part of the internet safety video, and I was inspired to do this by my struggle of coming to terms with who I am and peer pressure, and I look at nowadays, the internet's just blowing up, and we don't have enough know-how, enough knowledge with the internet, and I'm not talking about the deep web. I don't know nothing about the deep web. I just know what I hear on what used to be Canada AM, and I did not realize until 16:9 how big the underground web world is with hackers and different things. And thank God I am so computer stupid that I gotta kind of research things with people to make sure, am I overthinking everything or am I onto something here? And I believe I'm onto something with people keeping their heads in the sand with internet safety. So, point blank, if you are under 18, do not watch this video. I do not need parents whining to me, if you are a parent, listen to this video, okay? Now, W5 said that, I can't, of course now the numbers got to leave my head, but that's why you guys can go online and research it and make sure I'm doing the right facts here. Okay, so, now, how do I say this? Okay, W5 said that there was, too many kids nowadays getting exposed to pornography and distorting their views of sex and blah blah blah. Now that was bad enough when I was a kid, but we just stole magazines and videos from our parents and looked at the magazines with buddies and kept the magazines in different books and blah, blah, blah. But now online things are blowing up. And look, we're not going to get rid of porn sites. We're not going to... But I said the other day in a video, and I should have said it with more clarification, hey, you're not going to find something deep on the... You're not going to find something that you shouldn't find on the web. And what I meant by that was, there's actually a fear of that for me, and some people might say, well, if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. That's what I heard more than once. But the thing is, too many people are naive, and I've been trying to say that, and then I thought, you know what, I gotta prove this, but I didn't know how to prove it, so I just thought back to when I was growing up and watched True Hollywood Stories and stuff, and like I said in numerous videos, we can learn from pop culture. Now, I read an article, given to me by my pastor about a woman that was in the porn industry in the 80s. Now, in the 80s, I hear all the time, well, they don't get into the industry unless they want to be in the industry. Sometimes that's the case. Some people just like sex and they get into the industry. But it starts out, and more often than not, with people, oh, you can be a model, and then the modeling turns into this, and then they blackmail you. Now, that came from that article. Of course, I can't remember the site again. But when my pastor gave me that, I read it, and I was like, well, how do they make sure that people are who they say they are, or at least by the fake names or whatever? Because when I was about 15, I watched an True Hollywood Story episode where they talked about a world famous porn actress by the name of Tracy Lords. Now, the scandal with Tracy Lords is she was in the porn industry for years, and then lo and behold, shortly after she turned 18 and did her last video, somebody called the cops or the FBI or something, and lo and behold, the industry says they were fooled for years because all those other videos she did before were technically illegal because she was 15 years old. She fooled the industry, okay, allegedly. Now, I do believe somebody had to know something was going on. But there's rumor that it was actually her that called the police after she turned 18 because she figured, okay, that's my only out. I can take the last legal cash from this video and just run. Because she did technically one video when she was 18 and it was legal. Now, the reason why I'm saying that compares to today and why I'm saying too many people are naive with the internet is that after that happened, it came out that the Senate, I'm going to get my assistant to look this up in our research. The Senate, was it the Senate? It's in the article, buddy. The Senate actually made the industry come up with their own in-house record keepers where, now I don't know the actual name of it, but this was in the early 90s where the Senate said, okay, you guys have to have your own record keepers to show who the actors are, how old they are, make sure they're 18 or over, and blah, blah, blah. And that makes sense. That's fine. That's a start. But the reason I don't like that, maybe I'm overthinking it, these guys are... They're in-house record keepers, okay? Who is to say somebody's not going to say, okay, well, you know what, you're 16, you're 17, you look 18, 20, just, you shut up, we'll pay you a little bit extra money, you like the money. With it. I don't like that it's in-house people. I really don't. And from what I can what I researched with my former assistant, to see if I was overreacting, because I think the peer pressure nowadays is even worse than when I was a kid. The Senate said that they can have their own in-house record keepers, right? Was that in the early 90s? Do you see that? Okay, he's looking, but I'll just keep talking. I hope I didn't delete the newer one, but anyways, I honestly, look, that was in the 90s. That's back when, like I said, we were stealing magazines and videos from our parents. And W5 said that there's more college students, and this contributes to what I said about the book I read in my anxiety treatment called The Porn Trap. This contributes to an actual addiction. For more college students and high school students are addicted now to porn than even, I can't remember the number. I challenge you guys to look it up. That's what makes part of this fun. You guys look it up. You guys find what you need to find. Any luck? Huh. I hope I didn't delete the older copy of it, or the newer copy, and just replace it with the old one. Fuck. Anyways. The Senate just, honestly, for them to say you have your own in-house record keepers just blows my mind. And like I said, there's more people, adults and kids, or teenagers I should say, getting addicted to pornography nowadays than ever. And why? Because sex can, and your hormones can create the same dopamine effect as like cocaine or whatever. Now, am I saying porn's completely bad? I would stay away from it after what I researched, but at the same time, depending on your situation, I wouldn't say it's horrible. It's to find the balance and say that porn is fantasy. And if you see something you don't like in porn, don't watch it. Like I watched a clip where somebody was getting choked once, and I backed right out of that video. I'm like, nope, that's not for me. That actually helped me figure out what I would go for, what I wouldn't go for safety with a partner, right? And never do something your partner doesn't want you to do. Or never do something your partner wants you to do that if you don't want to do it, is what I mean. But, and W5 proved a good point, and I had to check it myself. Like, I never went on porn sites when I was a kid or even a teenager because I'm computer scared of viruses and hacks and blah, blah, and I just, at the same time of being conflicted of what relationships actually are, I got concerned with, porn's like this deep, dark, dirty secret, right? So there was like a sense of shyness and shame to it. But anyways, let's look at, like I said, the Senate created this situation because of Tracy Lords. She allegedly fooled the whole industry for years. Okay? She was more popular in the 80s. Okay? And that's back in the days where you had to go in stores and buy your porn. And W5 brought up a good point that these people can just go on Google, like these kids can just go on Google, type in porn, boom, they find videos. Most of the time they find it from one of the most popular sites out there called Pornhub. And let's look at what they make annually, okay? Annually they made, I'll just get whatever, hold on a sec.
The industry makes about $220 million annually.
Are you kidding me? Like, seriously. And let's look at, okay, who owns, I think I got the numbers somewhere in there. Who owns, Pornhub? Let's look that up. I do know their head office is in Montreal, from at least what I found on Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia, granted, somebody could go back on there and write that their head office is in Canada, is in, like, North Bay, for God's sake. But look that up for me. I know it's there. I know it's in the article. The name of the company.
Well, somebody who owns a big portion of this is a company named MindGeek.
Okay. So yeah, it just, and what W5 brought to my attention, I did go on and I did see if, like, there was anything to, like, how you logged in or whatever, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, like, okay, not that I plan on it, but if I ever owned a porn website, I would honestly, to protect myself, put at least an age verification system. Pornhub does not do that. Okay, I can literally go on, click the category, click whatever, boom, done. You got fantasies on there, you got whatever on there. It just blows my mind. They know that kids are finding this, and they got the attitude again of, well, boys will be boys, and, well, they're going to find it. Am I saying that the industry is completely evil? No. Am I saying they need to, again, this goes to internet safety. They need to be held to a higher account. They need to at least put an age verification system. Granted, they can't get a fingerprint on the screen to verify a person's age, and somebody could say that they're 18 when they log on, and why they don't make you pay for a monthly membership, I don't know. Like, if I was a business guy, that's what I would do. But it's completely free. From what I gather, they make money off of advertisements. And what I don't like is, ironically, the Daily Show pointed this out. I thought, well, they would keep control of what's on their site and they would watch it. I have no 100% proof on this, but I honestly think they just use an algorithm. Because the Daily Show pointed out, after the Brexit referendum, where Britain left the UK, some guy took a video of one of the main Leaver politicians and uploaded it with the caption, "Guy fucks pardon my language, guy fucks millions of people." And they uploaded it on Pornhub, and it's right there in the Daily Show, and me couldn't have a better laugh at that, because that just proves either the guys at Pornhub thought it was funny and left it there, or they don't actually watch the algorithm. They don't watch what goes on the site, and that kind of scares me, because nowadays, and I had a conversation about this with a friend who was saying it as a joke, but he was like, "Oh, maybe I can get people off the street and, get these hookers off the street and just make my own site." And I was like, "Yeah, I wouldn't want the drama there." But it's technically, he put a little thought in my head where I was like, "Holy crap!" Nowadays, you can go on GoDaddy, pay $10 for a site name, and boom, put a camera in a room, and boom, you got your site. And again, that goes to sex sales. The problem with this is there's too many wheels that could be spinning. There's look, if you got a guy that can upload a speech from Britain, and you, who knows what the laws are in different cities. Look, in Canada, if you're 16 or 7, if you're 16, you can have consensual sex with your partner if he's 18. Even though he's technically an adult, and you're 16, you can technically do this. Am I saying to? No. But in the States, this is just for an example. In the States, if you're... Now, there was some scandal because of Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez, for example. In the States, there was scandal where is Selena Gomez having sex with him because he's 16 and she's 18 and that's illegal in California. And then there was even a scandal with Justin Bieber is the father of her baby, but the problem when she went to court was, now that got dropped and it got proven that she was a lying bitch, but the problem with that, and I'm just showing this for an example, is in the States, because he was 16 at the time and this woman was 18 or 19, she could have been technically tried if it would have came back for the DNA. She could have been technically tried for having sex with a minor, and she would have gotten arrested because you can't deny it after the fact the DNA test comes back with a baby. Now, what does this got to do with what I'm saying with internet safety? The problem is, what if you're watching a video where in the state, it's that, because different states have different laws. In California, for example, like I said, he was 16, she was 18, she could have been in trouble. Okay, but in other states, and I'm not sure which ones, and I'm not going to say which ones, even if I did know, the law is more like Canada's law, where you're 16, they're 18, it's okay. There was even a point in time where in Canada, never mind, but I'm just saying, there's no way to 100% police the internet. And that's why, okay, when the Senate made these rules for these companies that dealt with VHS tapes back then, they need to make some sort of rule for the internet. Why not have investigators go to these different companies the minute you register a website? As far as I'm concerned, especially for that, you're a pornographic company, so hold these guys to account. Make sure nothing bad is going on. Why do I care? Because from conversations with friends, they're too naive with the internet. Like, oh no, the internet wouldn't let that happen. The companies wouldn't let that happen. No. If it was happening in the days of VHS tapes in the 80s, there's no way that you can't tell me it's not happening online. And that's part of the scary thing. And I'll give you an example. A smaller example. There's a company I use to deliver my groceries. Okay? Now one day, when they were delivering my groceries, this guy walked in. He had a school jacket on for a high school in my town. And he was a really short guy, so I looked at him, and I don't know, I just wanted to make conversation, and I said, oh, you helping your dad or your uncle with deliveries? And he was like, what? I just started working here. I was like, what? Turns out, I thought the guy was like 17, 16, and it turns out he was 19. So, if this guy's looking at me straight in the face, and I thought he was younger, how can we verify if people aren't younger online? That's part of the scary thing. And nowadays we're losing money with technology. I mean, losing jobs with technology. So, like, for example, there's a pizza ATM machine at a college in the States that's coming out this fall. So that's going to cut back on some deliveries. Eventually, it's just going to grow. And we're going to probably have, VHS, or not VHS, ATM for hot dogs. I don't know. But we're losing money with technology at the same time that we're growing it. Or we're losing jobs with technology, sorry. So if that's going to happen, and eventually delivery guys are going to be cut out, create more jobs where these guys control boards or whatever you want to call them go into these different companies every 6 months and check their records and verify their records, because I don't want people to be naive to online anymore. Because, I mean, people are naive with Facebook. I guess I'm talking too much. So, people are naive with online, and that even goes to Facebook. And what would you do? Talk about another issue with that. Sorry, we're just having a laughing fit now. And I just when I look at the fact that peer pressure got to me with the fact of, do I want a relationship? You're nothing if you don't have a relationship. There's too much peer pressure even nowadays, and there's different ways to deal with it. We're losing, people are losing their touches with reality and accountability, and they're thinking that, oh, these companies are accountable, and they're not. I honestly, do I have 100% absolute proof? No, I don't. But if it happened in the 80s, I bet you it's happening nowadays, and I'm not saying take down Pornhub. I'm not saying ruin them. But if you want to be a responsible company, Pornhub, create an age verification system, create a phone number where if somebody's concerned over a video, they can contact you over it. Because I don't want somebody to be getting hurt because people didn't want to be accountable.